guys, welcome to the Stealthy Crafter. I'm Jessica, and today we are doing a Wip Chat. If you're new here and you don't know what Wip stands for, it stands for Work in Progress. And what normally happens during a Wip Chat is that you can bring out your own projects or do whatever it is that you guys want to do, like chores, drive, sit on the couch while you listen to me ramble about what's been going on in my week. With that being said, I hope you guys are doing wonderful today. Hope you guys been having a good week. My week's been pretty good, kind of tame. Before the quiet before the storm, I guess would be the best way to say it. But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. The weather's been kind of nice here lately, which is weird because I've been expecting summer weather, and although I'm pretty sure that I just jinxed it, it's been like spring type weather, which is really weird. I mean, like, it's still warm, but it's like there's been times where it's kind of on the cooler end, which I'm really weirded out. But yeah. So currently I'm working on Where the Fun Never Ends. I'm probably going to be working on this as my Whip and Chat for the entirety of summer. I'm going to work on this till the end of May, and then it's just going to be probably my Whip and Chat project, unless I change my mind, which most likely will happen. Currently, I'm doing this for my daughter and my husband, because they love to watch Adventure Time. I don't know much about the characters. I do know that over here was Princess Bubblegum, and I don't really know much of the other characters. I know about Jake and Finn, but I figured, like, as I get to each character, I'll find out each one from my husband and my daughter. But yeah, it's been such a quiet week. Been doing a lot with WoW earlier. Kind of stopped the last couple of days. Got to pick it up again before my next raid. And I'll let you guys know about it at the end, if you guys are truly interested in WoW. I know that not everyone really likes listening to me talk about gaming stuff, and I tried not to geek out too much about it. But what do you guys think about the fact that June's coming close? That we're almost at the end of May. It's kind of nuts, isn't it? It feels like this month's kind of gone by a little too quickly, doesn't it? Because it feels like that way to me, but it might be because of everything with the kids. Like, this is the kids' last week of school. Like, they're doing their, like, award ceremony. Michael and Jaina have theirs coming up on this Wednesday. Then Nicole has her moving on ceremony coming on Thursday, and they have a half day, so and we were discussing with the kids, like, do you want us just pick you up after your ceremony? Do you want to stay there the entire time? What's the plan, And got a lot of mixed answers honestly. Like, with Nicole, she says she wants to stay, even though the ceremony ends at 10 o'clock, and in school we pick them up at 10:30. But she's like, I want to stay for the last little bit, which I had a feeling that's what she was going to say. My husband's like, okay, because I think what he was hoping was that he would just pick everyone up early instead. I'm like, nah, that's not going to happen. You should know better. And Michael wants to be picked up early after his ceremony, but Jaina says she wants to stay at school. And Michael only reason why he wants to be picked up early is because he wants to play with Jaina. And I'm like, well, you can't play with Jaina if she's at school. Well, why not? Because she's at school and you be home. And it's not getting through to him. It's he's for some reason he's not comprehending anything. But let's start off with last Tuesday. So I told you guys that Nicole was going to go to middle school, and she's going to join the band. We weren't sure if she was going to join the band or not. But we went in on Tuesday for an instrument fitting. He asked what her first, second, third choices were, and he had her basically blow into every mouthpiece that they had. Just try everything out. And I was talking to the assistant band director, which was kind of weird because when I was in middle school, they didn't have assistant band directors, but it is a pretty big school. But yeah, I was kept preoccupied by him, and he was giving me like lots of information and stuff like that if she was joining the band. Sorry, and I like they are serious about this. So I had to sign everything up, put my information and my husband's information down. Had her sign the papers as well, but I was surprised. I knew that she would do well as a clarinet, in my opinion, like because she would either do well as a clarinet player or a saxophone player. But they had limited options for saxophone players. But she was doing really well with blowing into the instrument. Horrible at the flute. Horrible. And she was so hoping still kind of for that. I'm like, I don't want you to pick it just because I played the flute. I want you to pick it because that's what you want to play it. I'm not going to force you to play an instrument. This is what I think you would do best in, but you don't pick what instrument, that mommy played. Because I can tell you who played what when in my family. Because no one like my dad and his siblings, they weren't in band. But his mom played the clarinet, and his mom's brother played saxophone. And there was like a trumpet player. So I'm like there's a couple people who play different instruments in our family. So you don't have to pick flute just because of mommy. But I was surprised that she could also do very well with brass. He was like saying of the two, he would either suggest that she would be a clarinet player, or she would play something like the trombone or like one of the baritones. So he was like one of those, and I'm like, well, whatever she wants. And she picked clarinet. So we got all the information for her to play as for clarinet. He gave us a he started talking to me, like he went into a spiel, and I didn't cut him off, but he sounded like he kind of sounded surprised, like when I was agreeing with him, because he was like starting to say, well, we would prefer if you rent from this. He started talking about quality over and he knows that things were expensive. I'm like, yeah, you want a good instrument. You don't want to buy anything off Amazon. Nothing wrong with that for people who want to buy stuff off Amazon, but as a band person, you don't want to buy any kind of instrument like that. You want to get something that's going to sound good, and something that's off of Amazon. Like if you buy like one of those really cheap ones that are like, I looked up the flutes there. There's like flutes for $60 to $100. They're going to sound terrible. My dad did that to my sister when in middle school, which really hurt her in a way, because he did the right thing with me. Because hey, we didn't have Amazon back in the day. So he did a rent to buy on my instrument, and he griped about that the whole time. It was like my Christmas gift, and he griped about how expensive it was. And I'm really sorry that it was expensive, but it was a really nice gift that he did for that, because I used to have a used flute, and then it was then I got a brand new flute once I was playing in the band for a few years. And I'm kind of getting off topic. Anyway, my sister, she gotten a really cheap flute once Amazon started getting bustling and stuff like that. And he picked it because it was blue, and blue's her favorite color. And I'm like, they don't want you to do that. He goes, I don't care. And he goes, I'm picking whatever I want, which is pretty much his attitude a lot. But yeah, when I was listening to her play on that, I was cringing so much, because he first was going to go and say, hey, where's your flute? Give it to your sister, which is pretty much the biggest thing. I was already out of the house, I was many states away. I had a kid already, I was married, and then he's all like, give me your flute. Like, what the heck? What if I was still using the flute, right? but but unfortunately, my flute had fallen into disarray, and it was going to cost way too much to get the poor thing repaired. It was like it was so messed up. I was just like, no, I'm getting rid of the flute. It's in too much. There's no way of repairing it because I had like there was a lot of issues where I'm getting off topic, but basically. There was a lot of times where I had to go put all my stuff in storage, and we couldn't have all our stuff, and we were living with family members, so my flute had to go into storage. I just couldn't, keep a hold of it, and then by the time it came out, it was just like it was just too much. It was not we could not afford it, especially by the time we moved into a house. Twins and another. We got baby newborn twins and a house and a car payment. It was just like the flute was kind of a last thing of what we were going to go for to fix. So yeah. Anyway, I was telling the banjo, I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I understand. You wanted a quality instrument. I'm like, yeah, I'm not. And then he's like, oh yeah, yeah. And then he's like, you used to be in band, didn't you? I'm like, mm-hmm. But oh man, guys, it was so hard not to do a band joke while I was there. I was trying so hard not to say a darn word to Nicole because I've been doing band jokes all last week when she was like sending in her basically what she wanted to play, like her favorites and stuff like that. And during that time, I was just busting out all the one-liners and everything, looking more jokes up. And I'm like, I didn't want to be one of those parents like saying it in front of the band director. But oh my goodness, I almost did. I almost did. but no, he told us that there was actually a band camp, which I was like, really? For sixth graders? But the way it's like a Tuesday thing where it's only for a few hours, and it makes so much perfect sense. I wish they did that for me when I was a sixth grader. Because yeah, I went to band camp when I was in high school but that was like for marching band purposes. This is essentially basic. It's a oh, I missed a color. Whoop. Isn't that always the case? Yeah. Anyway. This is essentially like, it's for maintenance, how to put together your instrument, how to take it apart, all the stuff that they would do in a 2-month period, they cram it into a few hours for those 2 days, and that way they basically, when they start school, they already have the knowledge to do all of that stuff and they just can continue on quickly and get into the to better thing. And I'm looking at their awards and stuff like that, and especially their high school. I'm like, yeah, you can tell that they take it seriously, which is good because where I was from in the high school, they did not care one lick about band. It was all about nothing wrong with it, but it was all about the football team and the cheerleaders. It was one of those stereotypical things. I was living in a small town, so it was kind of very stereotypical, and unfortunately, it was really not the best place for someone who liked to be in band. Unless, of course, you were that rare band cheerleader football player, which we did have. But even then, that didn't save the band. we were outcast a lot, like for trying to do any of our practices. We weren't allowed to use any of the fields. Like we had the football field, and we weren't allowed to use that because the football players plus the middle school football players were using that. So we went to use the baseball fields. We weren't allowed to use that after school started. Then we did the parking lot instead, and people complained because we tied off like a section of the parking lot after school to use, and they didn't want us using that. And my band director's like, well, where do you want us to practice? Because we have nowhere to practice. um, but it was yeah, it was an interesting time. But I'm glad that they take it a bit more seriously here. There's so many like awards and stuff that I see. I'm like, holy cow, I'm so jealous. um, excuse me. Not to say that, my daughter's going to, do all that stuff. I'm not going to pressure her to, if she doesn't want to continue after middle school, whatever she wants to do. If she wants to be in band in high school, I will gladly support her 100%. But after all of that, we were hungry. It was past our dinner time. So we decided we're going to just go to get some fast food. And we went to go pick up Wendy's. I was like, I am not cooking when we get home, because it's like I got raid night for a while to do. I have to get the kids ready for their showers. There's still homework that needs to happen. I'm not cooking. So we picked up dinner instead. And it was like raining by the time we got home. It was like threatening to rain, and a whole bunch all the way there. So yeah, it was just like, that was like pretty much an eventful Tuesday for Nicole. But she was so excited. I was just so proud of her. I was like really proud of her. Let's see. But yeah, that was pretty much on Tuesday. Not a lot happened on Wednesday for the kids, honestly. Just some wild stuff, which I'll talk at the end. Let's see. I did write stuff down. So, Thursday, when it came around, was another raid day I'm getting prepared for. And I'm trying to clean the house. Let me take a sip of my coffee. It's one of those weird, like, I think I'm hoping I'm not getting a cold, but at the same time, it's like, I think I am, but it could be the pollen outside, because the pollen keeps, like, changing, like, and I can see it drifting around, and it's just bothering me. Let's see. So, Thursday, I had to get the kids ready for school. They were so excited about Friday, because Friday was, it was the water field day thing that they were going on about. And I had to order, swimsuits for all of them. And, the swimsuits finally came that day, which was a good thing, because I don't know, what would happen if, they didn't have swimsuits on Friday. But yeah, it was like, it was a hassle that entire day doing everything. Getting them ready for stuff. I was just like, I was just having so much trouble. But when the swimsuits came in, I had everyone try theirs. And Nicole, I kind of had a little tear with Nicole, because I had to order her another size up. From last year. Like, she doesn't wear children's clothes anymore. She's now in a woman's small, and I'm like, my baby. I'm just like, you're not allowed to get any bigger. You're not allowed to grow anymore. You already hit the 5 foot. Nope, you are done growing, in my opinion. And she's like, no, I am not. I'm going to keep on going. And this kid, oh my goodness. Like, she's already, talking about middle school life, and, what she wants to wear makeup. She's trying to steal my shoes, and she can now fit into them. They're just a half size bigger, but still. But she's like, hey, you have these boots. Can I wear them? And they have heels. I'm like, no. 1, those are mine. 2, no. 3, those are mine. And I'm like, I'm already having to deal with, people who are thieving my body spray. I have to deal with, when I say people, I mean her. I already have to deal with her thieving my body spray and now shoes. No one told me that this was going to happen. I knew about, if there was like two teenage girls that was going to happen. Heck, that happened between my sisters, sister, because my youngest sister, she was just a baby when I was when I left the house. But with the middle sister, she and I were just like literally 2 years apart, and she would steal all my stuff, and it drove me insane. And now I'm dealing with a daughter who's stealing all my stuff. And I'm like, no, this is my stuff. I already have to put my body spray up in the up out of reach, because not only is she doing that, the youngest, Jaina, she's like starting to do that too. I'm like, no. I already have a sensitive nose. I use only one spray of this at a time. You guys are like dousing the entire room. You don't need to do that. So I'm putting stuff up away from little thieving hands. Like no one's allowed to touch my stuff, and now I'm gonna have to probably find a place for my shoes so no one takes my shoes. It's a good thing we don't wear the same size, or else she'd be stealing my clothes too. Because I don't want that happening. No. Although she might not do that, because I have such a lame style and I dress such like a mom. This is all true. I do dress such like a mom. But yeah, we were getting them all ready. Nicole was at a friend's house at the very beginning, and I had I had my husband get dinner ready for me. I already prepped it all up. I made like baked ziti that day. All I wanted him to do was just fling it into the oven, and I told him that I was going to go and cook. That I was going to go not cook, but I was going to do laundry, and I was going to separate laundry. And he was like, okay, I'll get, basically he's like, okay, I'll get everything ready. And I told the twins, hey, guys, I want to separate laundry in a minute. I'm just going to go use the restroom real quick. And I literally walked into the bathroom. I closed the door, and I hear Michael, coming up the stairs. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And he goes, Mommy, where's the clothes? I'm going to fold them. I'm like, dude, I haven't even separated. I literally said I'll call you guys once I'm done separating the laundry. This kid, oh my gosh. But that was not the end of the whole I'm not listening to you bit. But yeah, after all that, I separated the laundry, called them, got them to do everything. I'm trying to also get showers done during this whole time, and get everyone ready for the field day. So I'm like, all right, guys, this is what I need you to do. And this is what I repeated so many times, to the point where I got really frustrated and upset. So I'm like, all right, guys, so here's what you do. Here's your swimsuit. This is what you're going to wear in the morning, because that's what they told them to do. They have to wear their swimsuits in the morning and then wear shorts and shirt on top of that. That's fine. Whatever. Right? I'm like, here's what you guys need to do. I need you to pack a pair of undies. I need you to pack a change of shirts, a shirt and shorts, and then your shoes and your socks. And they were like, what do you mean? I'm like, you gotta pack all this stuff. And they were just like, okay. And Michael would just like constantly come over, and he would be like, well, I don't want to, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to get wet at all. I'm like, dude, you have I literally bought you water shorts for the swim shorts for this whole reason. He goes, oh, and then he completely forgets it again. So I'm like, dude, come on, you're killing me. And then, he comes back. He goes, what do I need to pack again? And I'm like, underwear. But I'm wearing swim shorts. I'm like, yes, you're wearing swim shorts, but you gotta change after you get, after you have fun, right? So undies, then socks, but I'm wearing water shoes. Yes, but you're changing out of those. And it was just the same thing over and over with him. I'm just like, I got so frustrated with him. I'm like, dude, just listen to what I'm saying. And then he complained about the shoes. Because earlier, when we picked him up that day, let me grab this. Okay, so earlier today, he's like, he goes, I need new shoes. And I'm like, oh, great. Because the bottom sole of his shoe had completely ripped off, like the green part that was underneath it. He still had the bottom part of the sole, but like he tore off like the green lining a bit, so it would not be even if you walked. And I was like, well, it's a good thing he's wearing water shoes for the whole field day, because that would not have worked very well. He would slip and fall and hurt himself. But we gorilla glued it, and I ordered him a new pair just for the last part of the week. I'm like, he needs new shoes. It's gonna last till summer. We'll just get a cheap pair for now. It'll last just for that long, because he'll probably tear through it, because he's rough with his clothes and shoes. And I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. But yeah, I was like, goodness gracious, this kid. But yeah, I had to pack his shoes the next day because he couldn't pack them up, and he argued about the fact that he couldn't wear those shoes. I'm like, well, we're fixing them right now. We're gorilla gluing and duct taping and having a prayer for them, and they worked. It worked for the day. It worked for the 2 days, honestly. But he wasn't the only one that was like driving me insane. Like, the kids all have this bad habit of interrupting me. Nicole's the worst of it, to be honest, though. So Nicole comes home from her play date with her friend, and I'm already frazzled as it is with everyone. And I'm like trying to direct her to get a shower, and I'm talking to her, and she's not even listening to half one of my conversation, because like I started saying the things that I said to the twins. So, and then she just completely cuts me out and goes, well, I'm wearing a swimsuit in the morning. And I immediately got onto her. I just went, no, it was more like, kid, you need to stop interrupting me so often and let me just have a sentence for once. Because this is her thing that she's been doing right now, is where she doesn't let me have a word in, and she just has to interject with everything, and she has to interrupt and put her 2 cents in. And my husband and I have gotten onto her about this, and is this like a teenage thing? Because I'm just kind of curious. Because right now she acts like she knows the entire universe. Like, because if I say or do a thing, I get immediately like, I know. And I had the weirdest childhood, so it's not like for me to know all the normal teenage things. Because like I never took clothes from my sister. My sister took clothes from me, but I never took clothes from my mom or anything like that. So, and I'm just kind of like curious, like is this a normal teenage thing? Is this normal? But yeah, no one was listening that day. It was just like, oh goodness gracious, you guys, you are trying. You are just so trying to drive me insane. But the only good thing about this, sorry, the only good thing about this is that night I got to try out some new pillows for the bed. The bed has been killing me as of late, and the pillows have gotten really flat. And these new pillows that I bought were like medium firm compared to the ones that I bought for the king size pillows. And because those were like really soft, and these were like medium sized firm, and they were just right. I think I had my first good night of sleep in a long time. Of course, the next night I decided to ruin it. I always do. But yeah, I had a good night's sleep, and it was probably a good thing, because the next morning all 3 of the kids were just extra. I don't know if it was just because of the excitement of the day or what, but they were extra. And trying to get them to listen was hard, especially when you have the oldest who thinks she knows everything and has to interject, like confuse her siblings on everything. So, example, I've like been asking stuff like with tablets and folders and things like that. Like if the kids need it, and she'll always go, "I don't." I'm like, okay, well that's fine, but I'm also asking them too. And she thought I was talking to her at one point. I was talking to Michael. I'm like, Michael, don't forget, I just got your shoes in your bag. Please go and put the towel, because I also had to get a towel. I'm like, please go and put the towel in the bag, and then put your bag into your backpack. And then Nicole immediately just goes like, I'm not taking my backpack. I don't have to. I'm like, that's great. I'm talking to your brother, not you. And she goes, "Well, I don't need to bring my backpack because I don't have my tablets anymore. I already turned in everything for the year." And I'm like, "That's great. I'm talking to your siblings." And she confused them from that, because then they're all like, "We don't need to bring our backpacks." I'm like, "No, you do, because they still had schoolwork and homework and all that stuff." So it's just like, no, you guys need to bring your backpack. So, and Michael almost forgot because of all this and in this whole confusion. It was just it was I was like, had to run out for a moment, and luckily he realized it as I was like opening the garage door to go, "Hey, you forgot your backpack." That was a good thing he didn't leave the house. That would not been fun, because we've already gone into we've already had to go to the school earlier that week for Jaina. Jaina forgot her tablet on Monday. We don't have to worry about tablets anymore. I don't think we have to worry about folders anymore. Everyone turned their tablets in by last Thursday, Friday, along with chargers and stuff like that. So I don't have to worry about it. The twins turned it in because they get new ones for third graders. Third graders get like a really nice tablet. And Nicole's going into the middle school, so she had to turn in her tablet, and she'll be getting a new one when she enters the middle school. So, so everyone will get new stuff next year. New stuff for me to try and juggle and keep track of. Yay! But yeah, that was. I went to bed after that, guys. I was like, I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I was like, I'm done. I'm going to sleep. I'm taking a long nap. I'm not dealing with this. When we got to him later on that day, we could tell some you like with Michael and Jaina, they were not happy. They were upset. Come to find out, we didn't do the water activity. It was too cold in the morning. So this is what I mean by like we've been getting some of the weird weather. It was too cold in the morning for water. So they didn't do like any of the water slides. They didn't have the fire station do the hose kind of thing. And what's worse is Nicole did, because it warmed up enough for her age group when they came out. So Nicole's like going on and on about it. She's, you could tell that she had fun. She's like, her hair's completely soaked, even though, I told her to try and dry off as best as she can. And and then this is just getting Michael and Jaina in a fouler and like in a really foul mood where they're not happy. And I'm like, guys, it's okay. You still have the next 3 years to do all this. Plus, if we do all of our summer homework. Speaking of, summer homework packets came home, and Michael threw a fit about it. He's all like, "This is summer break. I don't need to do any homework. I'm supposed to take a break." I'm like, "Yeah, but summer homework means that you keep that knowledge all trapped in your head instead of it leaking out." Sometimes I don't like to do the summer homework with you guys, but you know what? I know that if you guys don't do it, you guys are going to gripe and complain about the fact that you didn't get to do the fun activities that at the beginning of the year. So we're doing it. And it doesn't help that I also do more than what is said. So like it's like 15. It used to be because they were in kindergarten to second grade. It was like 15 math each month and 15 reading. This time, it's going to be 15 reading for the entire summer and then 15 math for each month. And the reason why it's changed is because they're writing basically essays now for the thing. So I don't know how I'm going to convince them to do more than 15 because I could not convince Nicole to do that when that started. I'm just always trying to make sure that they keep their knowledge trapped in that head of theirs. Let's see. I think my husband got lunch for me. I'm going to have to wrap this up probably a little bit earlier than I was expecting. But I'm going to still keep going. Let's see. So yeah, the kids kind of had a bit of a fit at the end of the day. We could tell that they were kind of tired too. I'm like, what? You didn't have any fun? And of course, Jana's like, I had no fun. Can we do water here? I'm like, no, we can't do water here. It's still cold. Which made her go. And we're like, no, okay, you guys are tired. You guys didn't sleep well because you must have been so excited. And then on top of that, now, the fun that you did have, it's draining you. You guys are going to bed early. And gone to bed early, they did. But we did have a surprise for them the next day because we did promise the Mario movie for their birthday. And we never got the chance to do that. So we did another movie kind of night. We made pizza. And we did hot wings for basically Nicole and my husband. And we surprised them on Saturday of the fact that we are going to eat junk food. We're going to eat a lot of junk food, and we're going to watch the Mario movie, and we're going to have fun. And we also said we were also going to clean up, which I got a lot of boos. But I made them clean up their rooms. I was like, you guys, your rooms are nasty. I know I told you guys to clean up this mess. My husband chimed in and helped tell them to go and clean up, and they listened to him, which thank goodness, because I don't know what would happen. but yeah, they cleaned up their rooms, and then afterwards, like during the evening right before bed, we got the Mario movie started for them. And I actually had a nice weekend overall. I got to do a lot of diamond painting. I got to relax a bit. I did my nails. I ordered some hollow taco. Well, when I say I ordered, my husband does it. He orders hollow taco every time they have a new collection came out, and they came out with like the vacation type thing. So I'm getting new nail polish in a couple of days. So I'm excited about that. You know me, I love my nail polish. I can't help it. Let's see. Nothing really happened yesterday. Not that I can remember. Let's see, we're gonna go with E. Yeah, not a lot happened yesterday. We kind of took it a little bit easy. Tried to kind of rest a bit, especially since we know that we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff later on this week with these award ceremonies and everything like that. We finally got the medicine sorted out for Jaina. When we went to CVS to pick up medicine for both of them, they only had it for Michael and said there was none available for Jaina. So we had to go and contact the doctor about it. So he's got that all set up and fixed for us. And we also had to get her some more of her cold sore medicine because the poor kid started getting canker sores and cold sores all over her mouth. So I know that means that she's going to be sick soon. Whenever she gets one of these sores on her mouth, that means that she's either over her sickness or she's going to get sick soon. She hasn't gotten over a sickness, so I'm waiting for it. And I'm like, maybe I have it. That's what's going on. So I'm just waiting for it. Also, did you guys see the stuff on Diamond Art Club this weekend for the releases, like a lot of it was like kind of wintry theme. According to my friend, she was like, yeah, I like all that stuff, but it's too wintry. I bought some. I was like, I don't care. Got something for the winter. I didn't want to be all like I bought all the things that I did show her some of the things I did buy, which was like the Yume Arts one, because I have the flute one. I think I did an unboxing on that one. I never got the violin one, but they had the drum one, the glass drum set. I'm like, oh yeah, we're buying that one. I'm getting all the instruments, man. And I looked up what she has drawn. They don't have like a clarinet or anything, or else I would be like, please get that one out. I want to make that for my kid. But I'm planning on doing the flute one sometime in the future, because I'm kind of thinking about putting it in here, somewhere in this room. I'm kind of thinking that. But yeah, I got that, and then I also got the tea party, because it's Hey Fairies. I love fairies, and I've been waiting for that to come back in stock, and it came back in stock like a week and a half ago, and I couldn't help myself. I'm like, if I have to get anything, it's got to be this. And wouldn't you know it, I get an email today, about a sale, like get so much % off, and I'm like, dang it, I should have waited. I should have waited. Oh well. It wasn't too much of a bigger sale than what I already gotten with my goodness, what was it? Words escape me. Like I get like a discount code because I'm on the Facebook group, so I use their Facebook group code to get like a bit of a percentage off of it, so that way I don't have to pay full price, because I don't want to pay full price all the time. It's a little expensive. It can be, but especially if you do it all the time. So, but I was trying to be good, because my favorite enabler, if she was awake, she slept through the Butterfly Effect Wear's pin drop, and I almost bought the pin. I was like, I had it in my cart, I almost pushed by, and I told myself, nope, I don't need it. I'm good. And if she was awake and I told her that, she would have been like, do it. Buy the pin. You want to buy it. And I would be like, click. Let's see, we'll do this one. Although I saw the pin drop today, from them, and I might do it for this week, because it's like orange and yellow, and I don't have, well, it's like yellow, orange, red color. I'm like, I don't have a pin that color. I kind of want to do it. So I might do it. I don't know. I'm still debating. Anyway, we're gonna wrap it up pretty soon. I'll talk a little bit about WoW if you guys, want to hear it. If not, I'm sorry. I've been trying out a new spec for WoW, Assassination. Well, when I say new spec, it's not brand new, but I haven't played Assassination Rogue in a long time. It's been like a couple expansions. I switched to Outlaw, and I've come to basically like Outlaw now, and it's so weird going back to Assassination, because Assassination used to be my favorite spec, but it's currently simming better for raids. And I know some of this might be confusing for some people, and some people go, yep, But yeah, I was like trying out the new rotation right before raid started, so not the best thing to do. I was practicing like a day beforehand, and then it kind of changed, so I was like practicing again, like the newer rotation. And I was struggling a bit. The raid turned out very good. We got through all of normal. We did a couple of bosses in heroic, and we called it a night. I only got one piece of loot, and it's not the best piece of loot at all. It was like a dagger, and I just kind of got it because I needed needed a dagger. I haven't even enchanted it yet. I have to do it before raid tomorrow. Go and enchant the darn thing. But let's see. But Wednesday, that's when it shows like how bad my luck started getting. We did not do good for mythics at all. We did mythic plus, and they said they nerfed Vortex Pinnacle. They did not nerf Vortex Pinnacle. They did, but they didn't. And we struggled to get through that. We only did 2 dungeons this entire time. I know my friends have done more dungeons since then. I seen that they were doing mythics and stuff like that throughout this whole week. But my availability isn't like what theirs ours. It used to be what theirs were, but I have a family I got to take care of, so I can't just get on all the time anymore. And then Thursday, we were doing good, but my luck was not doing well. The other rogue that we had in our guild, he got all the loot. I'm not gonna complain about loot stuff all the time, but he got all the loot. And it was fair rolls, we all rolled on it, and he got it fair and square, but he got all the loot. But yeah, I was just like, dang it, because I did not get a single drop, and I was like really hoping for some of those drops for me, because my item level score is like lower than everyone else's. Well, not everyone else's, but for a lot of people. And his was like double mine. Like I was like, I'm at 416. I'm hovering around 416 to 418, depending on which spec I'm in. And he's at 430. And I don't mean double mine, but like like in the he's he's up there. I'm like, he got all the loot. I'm not gonna complain to him because he won it fair and square. But I can go, he got all the loot. I got salty at the end of the night. But we did really well. We got to all the way to Echo of Netherian. So like we're on the last 2 bosses on heroic. So I'm excited that we got that far and we jumped back into server first. Although I don't know. We'll probably drop once we done ahead of the curve, and they start doing the mythic content for that, because we don't do too well with mythic content. We kind of quit one at a certain point because people get burnt out, and we have like 6 months of content left for this, so people already are pushing themselves as it is. But the next morning, I woke up to guild drama. There were people upset about a certain thing that dropped in our guild. We had like the rare. I don't know if it's rare, but we had an enchant that's really like what everyone wants and needs in our guild. And we decided to give it to the main enchanter of our guild, like the person who does all the enchants for us. And we mentioned this, and for the newbie that came in, and he was expecting to win the loot too. And we're like, no, we're going to bring it to the main guy. And then he was all like, well, does that mean that I get, basically a free enchant? And we're like, no. This just means that you're not going to spend an arm and a leg on enchants now. But it was just kind of eye rolling. Like, really, you are literally you're only, this is your 2nd week with us, and you're already demanding loot, because he was like wanting basically to get a chance of the rare items, and we're like, no. This is your 2nd week. You don't just go gimme and dibs. But it was just like, it was so ridiculous, and I'm just like, man, people are just, this is why I'm not going to go to anyone and go, it's not fair that this rogue got all the gear and I don't, because we set the rules. We're allowed 1 piece of tier and 1 piece of rare, and then 2 pieces of loot all together. So 4 pieces. So two of the non-tier and rare items, and then that, and that's per night, and also per difficulty. So like if we clear normal and then we do heroic, we get a chance of the loot all over again. So, which can kind of suck. But it's the only thing we ask is if you rolled for like one piece of loot from the previous difficulty, don't roll the same piece on the newest difficulty that we're doing. So, and we're keeping track of who rolls for what, so that way we can make sure that everything stays fair and everything like that. So, but yeah, we were dealing with that kind of drama. We had someone who wanted to be a gamer and say some gamer words that my guild leader had to shut down. So it was just like, yay, drama. But overall, we did pretty well for the entire night. We usually try and run as smooth as we can. It's not normal that we have this kind of stuff, but brand new people, so it's just kind of like people are like, wanting to see where they can get away with and what they can do. Sounds like my children. No, at least my children don't say gamer words. But yeah, that was pretty much my week, guys. Hope you like this video. I hope you like my rambling. I'm going to finish this up off camera, but I hope you guys did like this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!